I don't believe that we're so much involved in an educational course program as much as we're involved with a collage. The collage of our everyday life. That life is a collage, and that things come and meet us in sort of a circular fashion. And I also believe that there are no accidents in God's plan for salvation. That those who ought to meet will one day meet again. My favorite Course in Miracles quote is, because it's the destiny of all relationships to become known as holy encounters. Everyone we meet is the collage of our everyday life. Everyone who comes into that collage fits. Some people might think that we've left the book, the Tibetan book of a living and the dying behind. We haven't. The major text and tenet of all Buddhist teachings is everything is connected. Everything is part of oneness. It all comes from oneness. It returns to oneness. So everything in your life that's happening is there by divine appointment. Everything, everyone, every event, every thought, every word, every deed, every action that you take in your life has consequences, with all the things that you say and don't say, all the things that you do and don't do. All of it is connected, interrelated to everything else. Isn't that amazing to know that? That you are part of this great collage of awakening that's going on. And one of the things that really helps keep me awake is the other great Buddhist teaching, which is the teaching of impermanence, which tells us, although we're involved with the collage of life, this life on this earth is temporary, and things come and go. We said, particularly at the physical level, we said last week that I have on my refrigerator this sort of dire note that says DNR. It says, do not resuscitate. It's part of my thing from being in hospice. Don't resuscitate. But really the truth is, what it means is, do not repeat the same day over again. Do not repeat the same day over again. DNR, do not repeat the same day you had yesterday. Otherwise you'll get a repeat of what you had yesterday. Do not resuscitate. So it's there to remind me to stay sharp, stay on my toes, because everything is subject to change without notice. Everything is set in jello. But what I also have there, I love that one. It's my favorite one. It's well done. And by the way, that is original to me. No one else made that up. I'm no longer here. You put that down. And the real truth of it is, right next to that, I have something a little bit lighter than do not resuscitate. And it comes from Abraham. And it's one of my favorite ones to read at least once a week. It's on my fridge. Know that it's going to be all right no matter what. Have as much fun as you can. Be as easy as you can. Do not take anything very seriously, because everything blows over. And that is the good and the bad. You can't stand still, so nothing lasts very long. The best of experiences you must move beyond, and the worst of experiences you must move beyond. So don't make where you are too big of a deal. Let it be what it is. It is a moment in time where you either can choose to feel good or choose to feel bad. And that is really what it is. It doesn't mean you don't have preferences and would like things to be a little bit different. No, heavens no. Of course we all do. It just means that what it is what it is. It is a collage. Where did the idea for this come from, this whole collage talk? It came from a collage that someone started sending me about my own life. Let's go ahead and put that collage up now. Have you take a look at it for a moment. Here is what is the collage of my life. Let's go back. This is the collage, put the camera back on, of what somebody was sending me. Do not touch this, please, leave this on. This collage is the collage of my life, and someone sent it to me, and the first place they sent it was, there was only a few pictures on it, which was really interesting, because when I first saw it, there were not all these beings on the collage of my everyday life. I think we had Jesus, we had the Buddha, we had Paramahansa Yogananda, and we had me up there. And it was really interesting having me be in my own collage. Do you have trouble with the idea of leaning up against a master teacher, thinking, do I belong in the same company? To be leaning up against, Jesus or the Buddha? Who do I think I am? Who do you think you're not? You belong in that collage, because you are a master teacher. You don't think you're a master? Look at all the stuff you have in your life. You've mastered it all. Mastered mediocrity, Mastered guilt, shame, and blame. We've all mastered lots of things. Well, we're all masters in training. But the truth is, who we are and what we've come to master is much greater than what we meet at the appearance level. So this person began to work with me and say, well, what do you want on your collage? Not what I want. Who are the people who inspired you? So there they are. Well, if you look at, can you see Charles and Myrtle up there in the right-hand corner?
Yeah.
If you go over to the right, you know who that is? That's Edgar Casey, the sleeping prophet. There he is. If we hadn't found him back in 1972, we wouldn't even been able to sleep. That wonderful book was an awakener for us. There is a river. And then there's Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, one presence and one power. And then there's Paramahansa Yogananda and opening up the third eye through Kriya Yoga. And then there's Gandhi, be the change you wish to see in the world. In the Bible it says, in my Father's house are many mansions, many rooms. I go and prepare a place for you, that where I am, ye may be also. So each of us has time with the collage of our life, with different people who become our masters and our teachers and our way showers. You all have yours, don't you? Of course you do. You listed people who are part of the way, the truth, and the light for you. They are your messengers. You belong in the collage of life, but you also need to have time, I know I do, where I step back and take a look at, well, who is in my collage? And how does this fit? Because there's certain things that can come along to us in life where it feels like, why, this really doesn't fit. Why is this in my life now? Where did this come from? How did I attract this to myself? And the truth is, there are no answers to those questions. All you have are good questions to ask. Teach me, teacher, how to go deeper into the well of my own being and find out what this is really supposed to mean for me in my life. Because everything fits. Nothing is by accident. Every person, every condition, every challenge is there for a reason. And it includes not only people who are alive, who are no longer alive in a physical form, but they include people like, well, look, there's Carl Anthony playing the guitar. And there's Barry Dennis up there in the corner. There's my wife, Maureen, and my 3 children. They include everybody. Everything is part of the collage of your everyday life. Isn't it good to know that? That you are not alone. And what I believe is going on now on the planet is that the 4th dimension, the 3rd dimension, and the 5th dimension are all kind of merging together. So we have direct access to our teachers in ways we've not had before. Oh, we've had before, just different times. This is called the age of, believe it or not, enlightenment. When you look at what's going on the planet now, it looks like it's the age of forgetfulness. But the truth is, we live on a cusp where we're actually giving birth to be midwives to each other's greatness. We're providing ourselves with birthing ground for our own divinity. That's what everybody's doing for each other. And your teachers are all involved with helping you do that. Isn't that good news? Isn't that good news to know that that's true for you as well, too, in your life today? So everything that comes along, everyone you meet in the collage of your life is part of that. You can take that down now for a moment. And that's what we're doing right here now. We're meeting up with different people who are helping us come into our life and go out of our life in different ways. And certain times, certain people will come in, and then they go out again. Certain teachings we're very focused on, and then we're not. But Maury and I have always said, you never leave any part of your teaching behind. I'll always be a Course in Miracles student. I'll always be a lover of the oneness blessing. I'll always be someone who tries to live like Gandhi does and be the change I wish to see in the world. I'll always try to imagine a world filled with peace like John Lennon. It's all part of what's going on now, those little teeny pieces. And what I find for myself is that when I'm most connected to it is when I'm most out of the way. When it's less to do about me, myself, and I, and more about the I that is we, that is us. And I'm learning slowly, stubbornly, that it's not about me. Oh, darn. Because I really did think it was all about moi, about me. But it is not all about me. It is about all of us awakening to who we are. And we're learning more and more how to respect that, aren't we? And to be present for it, and to be alive for it. And how I know when I'm doing it is certain sort of shifts happen in me as I go out of my little self into my larger self. You all know this is not news to you. You all know Maury and I. We love Hawaii. You guys know that. We always have loved Hawaii, and we've just always felt that if a certain particular ministry were to open up, that would be the ministry we'd send a resume to. And so when Sky St. John made his transition some 3 or 4 months ago, we thought, shoo in, bye-bye. That one's got my name on it, beginning, middle, and end. I'm on my way to Alohaville. Does everybody there want me to come? Of course not. I am not everybody's cup of tea, believe me. It's hard enough taking care of me, let alone trying to figure out how to please other people. But for a bunch of people, it looked like, well, that might be a good choice for you, and now that it's opening. So what happens to me right in the middle of that being a possibility? I get cancer. Well, isn't that just sweet? Here's my opportunity to make my big leap to this particular ministry. And you know what the voice said? You're not going anywhere, because wherever you are, God is. And wherever I would have you serve is where I would want you to be. There's no place better than right here. The people you're with are no better than any people anywhere else. This is the place to be. This is your home. This is the Spirit's home for you. There's no place you need to be other than where you are. The answer is always some form of, don't be afraid to change, because you're going to change anyway. But you're not going anywhere, because wherever you go, there you are. So here you are, here I am now, and I can't think of a group of people on the whole planet I would rather be with right now than you guys. In this moment, with you right here and now. Can we? With all that you've done for us, there's no place to go. So you get humbled, right? You get right back to where you began again, which is always some place of where, well, your feet find you. Maureen made this terrible joke. Can I share it with you? This is an awful joke. This is a despicable joke to say to someone like me. She goes, you know, Charles Fillmore, he started off with a withered hip and grew it back. You didn't have a withered hip, and now you've got one, and you're shrinking it. So you're just going the opposite way of Charles Fillmore. And I said, honey, that's not funny. And then I started to laugh hysterically, because it's hysterical. The truth is, it's all hysterical while you're here. And if you are not having a good laugh, and taking it playfully, and enjoying yourself, you're missing the whole joke of being on the planet. Because if you're not getting the joke yet, the universe will give you another punchline. Because that's the way it works here, whether you like it or not. So I'm playing in the field of, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is where I'm supposed to be happening here with you. And these are the teachings I'm supposed to be sharing right now. And it doesn't need to be anywhere else to be any better than it is right now. Do you know that about your life as well, too? Right where you are, the collage of your everyday life, and all the masters are here to teach you and help you every step of the way. Every person is keeping a divine appointment. Every thought that you think, every choice that you make, every time you say yes, every time you say no, you're putting forth a minefield of energy that creates your next experience. You do it every single moment that you're here. We all do it. That's not a promise or a threat. It's just the good news of great joy that most people don't know anything about. You're having a great opportunity here to use everything that happens for grist for the mill for awakening. And that includes whoever comes in to the collage of your everyday life. And we all get surprises about who those people are who will be coming into the collage of our life. Some come, and we had no idea they were even going to show up. Last week, I had someone on a Monday show up in my life, and his name in an email was called Bill Allard. Bill Allard is a licensed Unity teacher. He has had 4th degree stage cancer. And he was going through the same thing I was. The thing that got me was the title for his email. You'll be just fine. That was the title of his email. It got my attention. You'll be just fine. By the way, let me tell you something. You will be just fine. The you that is you will be just fine. Every choice that you make, you're gonna be just fine. With every decision that you make and choose not to make, you are gonna be just fine. You know why you're gonna be just fine? Because you are divine. Why am I gonna be just fine? Because I am divine. And every choice you make will lead you towards that, even though it may not look like that. Carl Jung said it this way. At the same moment that you are the protagonist in your life making choices, you are the spear carrier, or an extra in a much larger drama. You are doomed to keep making choices. And the choices that you keep making will be the thing that will set up what will be the next thing that you will attract to yourself in your life. Again, this is all how the principle of spirit works. So here's this guy, and he's sending me this, you're going to be all right. And he speaks with power and authority because he's fourth stage cancer, which means it was everywhere. So when he went in to have dealt with as a licensed unity teacher, as a oneness blessing facilitator, as someone who's been a student of all the teachings of film was for years, he walked in with, how did this happen? How did I attract this to myself? But the truth is, that's the wrong question. It's not how did I attract this to myself, it's how do I respond to it now that it's here. That's the big thing that we move forward with. So he said to me, when I went in, they told me, well, if we give you radical chemotherapy and we do radical radiation, there's a 60% chance you might make it. So 60%, not bad odds. So he says, I'll go for it. But the truth was, they weren't giving him the real picture. The real picture was, there was so much cancer in this guy's body that literally he was just one moment away from dying from it. Really, literally. Just one step away. And what he got was, you know what? What's going to heal me are 3 simple letters from the alphabet. What's going to heal me is G-O-D. God. God is going to heal me. G-O-D. That's going to be my healing. What's that going to mean at the physical level? I don't know. But I do know that it's some form of G-O-D. And so we talked about his almost dying as a result of his cancer, and then his having the moment of epiphany, of awakening, that this is about healing coming from a power and essence from the greater beings who are part of the collage of my everyday life. And on my collage, my greatest healing teacher is Jesus, speaking through and emanating through Amma Bhagwan. And I'm going to ask for help for healing from that presence and power. And he did, and said, don't worry about it, we got you covered. Which could mean that you may not physically be here. Don't make him feel bad because he might not be, because the truth is we don't go anywhere. Only an illusion leaves for a few moments. Everyone is doomed to not be here in 50 to 100 years. The truth is, who we are cannot be harmed or threatened. And the thing that he really got, that I really got, that we both got from our teachers and teachings, was the idea of this. And this again comes from our lesson summation. It says, we cannot be harmed in any way. The healing stuff that we're all involved with is not about trying to fix ourselves or trying hard to get rid of something or someone that we don't like in our life. Trying and struggling are the exact opposites of allowing and acceptance. Once we are in the struggle mode, our mind's capacity to stay in the healing state of joy limits our teacher's ability to heal us through joy. Because joy is the power that heals. And when you're in the state of a joyful consciousness, that allows us to do that. And when we're in the state of feeling brought down or hung down, or just in a total state of denial about what's going on, we block our teachers from being able to send their oozing, healing light and energy to us. I like that I'm leaning up against my masters. Leaning on Buddha, leaning on Jesus, leaning on Gandhi, leaning on Maureen, leaning on the divine presence. Do you feel it? Closer to you is she, is he, it's it, and hands and feet. You are in a divine plethora of beings that want to help you right now. Will you receive their help? Are you willing to say yes to their help? So I want to shift our consciousness, not quite yet, Philip, from thinking that that means, well, then I'll just sort of step back and I'll just accept what is and allow what is and just wait to see what happens. No, you don't. We don't live in that age. Whoops, I just unhooked myself. We live in the age of active co-creative partnership with God. We live where we're supposed to step forward and do our part. Step forward and be a part of the amazing healing that's happening in your life. Pam is going to talk about this. Do you know that your DNA structure, do you know that your synapses in your brain, do you know that literally the T cells in your body are waiting for their next assignment? Do you know that? It's sitting there on the edge of it, and they're all waiting. What would you like me to do next? I've been kind of heard it out since you were like 2 years old. Do you have anything else you'd like me to be doing? And when you activate your brain through your thought, your word, your deed, your habit patterns, and bring it into forwardness, the beings from the other side begin to help you. And they say, what would you like to have happen or change in your life? We can help you do that through the power of thought, to work with matter. We can help you make those shifts in consciousness. But we can't do it if you're not going to be willing to help. So it's an active co-creative partnership with Spirit. Not a lazy sit back and let God do it and we'll see what she has in mind. But getting involved with it. That's why I think the group has sort of shifted to the placebo effect. Because you get involved with this process. Because we're supposed to evolve into who you are. And that means you may change physical circumstances. It may mean you won't. But like I said last Sunday, if you don't do it this time, you'll do it the next time because it's all one anyway. So what you don't finish up here, you'll finish up there because there's nothing to finish. You're already complete because you're so beautiful that God loves you no matter what. Darling, you always look marvelous. So we are involved with an evolving, awakening consciousness. And what I wanted to do was, I wanted us to actively co-participate in that process and really get our juices flowing as we enter into a divine partnership and relationship with our divine self and ask our divine teachers to help us. So I invite you now, just for a few moments, just to close your eyes. And again, we'll lower the lights, and for a few moments, just put my collage back up there, but just for a few seconds, and then I'll say, let's take it down. So to my surprise and my joy, these were all of the teachers that came up for me. And what was wonderful to see them was how close I was to being right in the middle of a divine healing that I didn't have full consciousness of until someone else pointed it out to me. If it hadn't been for that person sending me this collage, I wouldn't have thought myself worthy of being in such high company. And now I can't imagine not being in such high company. So I invite you now, as you think of your own teachers might be, close that back for a moment. I want you to see your own collage. Step back from it. And who is it in this collage that for you represents your divine helper, your God? No one can call upon your teachers in vain, nor is there anyone of whom they are not aware. And that includes both your physical helpers and your non-physical helpers. Physical life is just slowed down, energetic, spiritual life. So what you see in the physical is a reflection of what exists in the spirit. And so as you look and you see your teachers, you ask them to actively co-participate in this meditation with you. To join in this process, partnership with the beloved. I want you to have an experience now that for these few moments you're not likely to forget. An experience of reconnection with the divine presence and incredible power that not only you are a part of, but that you come from. Literally, we have the power to change the biology of the physical way in which our body responds to our everyday life. Not to manipulate or control, but just to be of greater service to the one who followed the one, who breathes and lives as the one. And you are that one. So what in this moment, as you enter this collage, would you like to see happen for yourself in your life today? What in this moment would you like to see be different in your life today? To change? Nothing is set in concrete. Again, are you willing to first allow and accept where you are, and to two, not be limited by where you find yourself? And now, take your left hand and place it over your heart. And I want you to bless your body, that it be lifted to a new mind. And bless your life, that be an extension of your mind. To bless your future, that it never be your past. And to bless your past, that it turns to wisdom. To bless the adversity in your life, that it initiates you into greatness. And that you see hidden meaning behind all things. To bless your soul, that wake you up from this dream. And to bless the divine in you, that it moves in you. That it moves through you. And that it moves all around you. That it shows cause in your life. And that you've been helped all along, every step of the way. This is not a solo journey. It is a collective awakening, happening to many in mass. Through spirit, through soul, while in a body. And finally, I want you to give thanks for a new life before it's made manifest. So that your body, as the unconscious mind, creates and begins to experience the future now. For the emotional signature of gratitude means the event has indeed already happened. For gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. I want you to memorize this feeling. Bring it to your awareness, back into your new body, to a new environment, and to a whole new time. And when you're ready, you open your eyes and you behold this new Jerusalem emanating from within you, expressing all around you. For this meditation, for these prayers, and for this awakening, we are so grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And as we slowly turn for a moment and just review our simple statements, we do them together to remember to stay awake this week. And the first one says, at the same moment that you are the protagonist in your life making choices, you are the spear carrier or extra in a much larger drama. You are doomed to keep making good choices. You're doomed to make bad choices. But the choice is, you can choose which ones you will make. Number 2, we cannot be harmed in any way. This healing stuff is not about trying to fix ourselves or trying hard to get rid of something or someone we don't want in our life. Trying and struggling are the exact opposite of allowing acceptance. Once we're in the struggle mode, our mind's capacity to stay in the healing state of joy limits our teacher's ability to assist us. And finally, we say this: know that it's gonna be all right, no matter what. Have as much fun as you can. Be as easy as you can. Don't take anything very seriously, because everything blows over. The good and the bad. You can't stand still, so nothing lasts forever. The best of experiences you must move beyond, and the worst of experiences you will move beyond, and you already have. So don't make too big of a deal about where you are. Let it be what it is. It's a moment in time, and you have a choice to either feel good or feel bad. But the choice is yours. So turn to the people who inhabit this collage called Unity of Wilmington and say thank you for your practice and your time. We do it not just for ourselves, but for the benefit of all the beings around you. Turn to someone and vow and say, thank you for being part of the collage of my everyday life. Namaste. Now must go. We take a moment to bless our time and love all